Let's start the lecture. So, uh, last lecture we have started chapter number 3. Am I correct? So, we have seen all this part in last lecture. So, in 5-10 minutes, we'll just recap because most of the students are new today. So, in this chapter, we have started with what is mean by the computer network. So computer network, it is nothing but the group of computers which are linked with each other and they form one network to share the data or to use the applications or to share the resources. So that we call it as a computer network. There are certain types of the computer network: LAN, MAN, WAN, and PAN. So LAN is nothing but the local area network which is there for a small area or where the distance is minimum, there then LAN is used. MAN is nothing but the metropolitan area network where the distance is too far, or we can say when the two cities are connected with each other within a network, then it is under the MAN. And wide is WAN is wide area network. So it is nothing but when the two buildings are connected with each other in a network, then WAN is used. And PAN is nothing but the personal area network. So suppose I have two systems which I want to connect with each other, then I'll use PAN. Okay. So these are the types of the network we have seen. Then we have seen what is the actual use of a computer network. So computer network is used for lots of things. For example, resource sharing. Then with the help of computer network, data is 100% available all the time. It saves the money as we are sharing the resources. So no need to give separate resource for each person. Then it provides powerful communication medium. Then we can access the remote information. For example, online shopping is there, e-banking is there. Then person to person communication, for example, video conferencing, email, chat. So these all are the examples. Then interactive entertainment, that for example online games, online quizzes. So these all are the computer uses of the computer network, and along with this there are lots of uses. These are just a few names. Okay, so that is second the point. Yeah, this diagram is important in this chapter. In fact, it is the concept on which the computer network is based on. So this is the diagram. We can call it as a architecture, or it is a layered architecture, how the data is being sent from one node to the another node. For example, host 1 is my sender and host 2 is the receiver. So when this data is sent, it travels through these all layers, and by using the physical medium it reaches to the destination. So that is the general flow. Means suppose this is my sender. So first it will come to this layer, then it will go to next, then next, then next, and likewise. Then it will use the physical medium through which actual data will be sent, and at the receiver side exact reverse process will be carried out. Okay, so protocol and interface, these are the two terms through which the software architecture is based on. So protocol is it is nothing but it is an agreement between these two communicating parties, how to communicate with each other. So protocol is what? It is an agreement, or some rules are defined between the host 1 and host 2, depending upon which the data is being sent between the host 1 and host 2. So that is nothing but the protocol. And interface is nothing but which services layer 4 is providing to layer 5. That is nothing but the interface, which services, or we can say which facilities the layer 4 or layer 3, which lower layer is going to provide to the upper layer. So that is nothing but the interface. So these are the two actual terms. So some example we have seen how the data is sent. So this is sender and it is a receiver side. When the data travels through sender medium, it adds its own headers, and these headers are nothing but it adds the address of the next layer or the receiver, we can say. So at this layer, m1 is my message. So when it needs to pass to the next layer, so it add its own header. So this header will contain the address of this layer, second layer. Similarly, when it reaches to the second layer, it will be having message plus header 1 plus header 2. Header 2 is the address of the next layer. Similarly, when it reaches to next layer, M1, H1, H2, H3. H3 is the address of the next part. So similarly, headers are getting added at the sender side, and exactly reverse is happening at the receiver side. So when the data is reaches to the receiver side, it just removes all the headers. Okay, so when it reaches to the say receiver side at the first layer, it is having h1, h2, h3. So when it goes in upper layer, so headers are removed. Okay, so h2 and h3, these are removed. Similarly, when it reaches to the final destination, all headers are removed. Why it is removed? Because headers only contains the addresses where it has to go. So once it reaches to the destination, no need of that address. So it is getting removed, and destination or the receiver will get original message only. So that is the procedure in which the manner in which the data is being sent from one node to the another node in a layered architecture. Then we have seen some of the design issues of a network software. So design issues means whenever any architecture is formed at that time, these are the some issues which needs to be taken into consideration. For example, addressing. Addressing is required if the wireless network is provided, means too many nodes are there, and every uh, data should know what is its source and where it is going. For that purpose, addressing is required. Then error control facility or error control algorithms are included in the net along with the messages. Then flow control means there must be synchronization between sender and receiver. Sender should not be too fast, receiver should not be too slow, so that data loss can be avoided. So that is nothing but the flow control. Then next is the long message acceptance. So some network is having limitations of the size of the message. So in that case, that message should be divided into small parts. So that is nothing but the long message acceptance. And routing is finding the actual path or feasible path to reach to the destination. So feasible path, I mean, it is nothing but the minimum distance, or it can be a minimum time and all. So that is nothing but the routing. So these are the design issues which are considered while designing any network. Then we have seen the topologies, different types of the topologies we have seen. Let's see one by one. First, what is mean by the topology? So it is nothing but the arrangement of a network, means how the systems are connected with each other within a network, and it forms one topology. So it is called as a network topology. So there are certain types of this topology. First one is the bus topology. This is the diagram. Okay. So bus topology means what? We are having only one cable, and to that one cable all the systems are connected. So you can see here only one cable is there. For example, coaxial cable is there, and node 1, node 2, 3, 4. Likewise, we can add any number of nodes over here. So this is nothing but the bus topology, and in this the data is flowed only in one direction, either from this to this or this to this. Again, it is having exactly two ends, means your wire is starting or medium is starting from this point and it is ending over here. So there is limitation of adding the nodes. If we go on increasing the nodes only, then all the load will be on this cable only, single cable. Okay, so that is the drawback. As well as if this cable get fail, then whole network will be get fail. So these are the drawbacks of this bus topology, but it is easy to understand, it is feasible, also the cost is minimum. All these are the advantages of the bus topology. So that is we have seen the first topology. The next we have seen the ring topology. Okay. Ring topology means there is a restriction for every system to connect exactly to other system to form a ring-like structure. Means every node is having exactly two neighbors and it will become a ring topology. So that is second topology. In case of the ring topology, the message is passed by using tokens. Okay, and it is called as a token passing algorithm, ring topology. So if any station or any node wants to send a message, that node should have a token with it. For example, this station 3 wants to send the message. Okay, so this three station number 3 should have a token. Token means a set of information. Okay, and in that token it adds its message and pass to the next station. Okay, similarly, suppose station number 4 wants to send the message, so it should wait for a token, then and then only it can send a message. But suppose any station doesn't want to send a message, station number 2, if it doesn't want to send a message, so it just passes that token to the next station. Similarly, this token is continuously moving within a network. That is, this mechanism is called as a token passing mechanism. Okay, also ring topology is bidirectional or unidirectional. Two types are there. Unidirectional is this one, bidirection is two rings are available to send or receive the data. So two purposes are there. If one get failed, then second is used, or one ring will be used for sending and second will be used for receiving. So these are the this is nothing but the ring topology. The advantages of this topology is that it is simple. Also, this if any station get failed, then we can easily recognize which station is failed. Okay, so miss troubleshooting is easy in case of the ring topology. So that is the advantage. The disadvantage of this topology is, what is the disadvantage? Can anybody tell? Are you listening me?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the disadvantage of ring topology? Yeah, any disadvantage? Hmm. Disadvantage of ring topology. Suppose token is failed or token is not reaching to any station, then message passing is not possible. So that is the disadvantage. Also, every station requires two exactly two neighbors to form a ring-like structure. So that can be also disadvantage. So these are the certain disadvantages of the ring topology that we have seen. Then next is the star topology. So star topology is the topology where there is only one central node is available or central device, which we call it as a hub. So it is available, and to this divide or device all the stations or systems are connected. So that is nothing but the star topology. Okay, so only one hub is there or central device is there, and to this central device all other systems are connected. Likewise, I can add any number of systems over here. But again, the disadvantage of this topology is what? If the central node itself getting disconnect, then the whole network will get down. Means hub जर डिस्कनेक्ट झाला किंवा काहीतरी हबला प्रॉब्लेम झाला, then the whole network will go get down. So that is the major disadvantage of the star topology. Otherwise, most of the time we are using the star topology to connect the systems. Okay, in our labs also we are using the same topology or same structure. We are having central device or switch to which we are connecting all our 20 or 25 machines, and we are using that central device to connect the systems. So it is a star-like structure or the star topology. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. Then we have seen the mesh topology. Mesh topology means what? whatever number of devices are available within the network, that all devices should connect with every other device in a network. Means suppose I am having 10 devices, so all that 10 devices should connect with each other. Okay, so that is nothing but the mesh topology. The major disadvantage of the mesh topology is that it is having the replicated data. It is also advantage that we will have a data continuously. Data loss होणार नाही. That is the advantage, but unnecessary. A lot of data is being copied in all the links, because how the data is passed we have seen. These are the two methods through which the data is passed in a mesh topology, through routing and through flooding. So if we consider the case of the flooding, flooding is what? Suppose ह्या नोडला जर मेसेज सेंड करायचा असेल, so what it does, it just sends that data to this link, then this link, this and this. Means the same data is replicated in all the other links available in a network. This is the advantage, that data is available throughout the, means continuously it can get available, but replication of the data is there. Again, it is a very complex structure to link with each other. If the network is small, then it is okay, but if the network size is big, is 100 nodes are there or 100 systems are there, then it is quite difficult to form this structure. Okay. After that, we have seen this tree topology, where in short, this tree topology follows the hierarchical flow of a data. Okay, means we are having the central hub where the main systems are connected, system 1 and system 2, through which the data will be sent to the next secondary hub, and through which it get distributed to the other nodes. If I add the next systems over here, I may need the other hubs over here, and through which I can send the data to the next system. So it's like a hierarchical structure where the data is sent from uh, top to bottom or bottom to top. It can be both ways. Okay, so this is the tree topology, and hybrid is nothing but combination of different topologies. So mostly hybrid topology is used to get advantage of every topology, we can say. Okay, so, so maybe the problem of the star topology will get over with the help of the tree topology or the ring topology. So to overcome the problem of one topology, we'll have a combination of different topology, and it will become a hybrid topology. So these are the certain types of the topology we have already seen. Then next we have seen the OSI reference model. OSI reference model, TCP/IP model, and ATM model. These are the three main parts of this chapter. So OSI reference model, it is nothing but, reference model is nothing but taking some references to flow the data. Okay, so ISO has designed or developed this model for communication, and by using the rules of this OSI reference model, we are sending and receiving the data through the network. Okay, so this OSI stands for open source interconnection, and the it is having these 7 layers: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and the physical layer. So these are the 7 layers of the OSI reference model, like this. So in last lecture, I told you that I'll show you one more diagram through which you will get understood easily how the data is sent. So for example, host A is there, host B. So as like this diagram which we have seen already, this one, like this. So it is also a layered like structure. Similarly, in OSI reference model, also we are having the sender as well as the receiver. Okay, so OSI reference model is having 7 layers: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. So if we consider host A as a sender, so application will be the first layer, And if you consider host B as a receiver, application will be the last layer because the process or the data is being sent from or being sent in this manner from this, again this, and this way. It is going to send. Each layer is having its own structure, its own format, or its own rules. Okay, so application layer is used, for example, it is at the sender side and it is your receiver side. So application layer is the layer which is closest to the sender. Okay, and in case of the receiver, it is closest to the receiver. So we can say that it is the topmost layer which is close to sender as well as the receiver. Then the presentation layer. What is the work of the presentation layer? So, in short, we can think that presentation layer is nothing but it is used to present the data in a specified format. For example, sender has sent the data in a 32-bit format, and at the receiver side, the machine or it requires a 64-bit format. So that conversion is done by the presentation layer. Okay, so that is the work of the presentation layer to present the data in a specified format. So it is the work of a presentation layer. The next is the session layer. So session layer is nothing but when it needs the communication between two parties, means host A आणि host B ला communicate करायचंय. So before starting the communication or before sending actual data, there must be some setup between host A and B. So this setup is nothing but the session. सो जेवढा वेळ तुमचं कम्युनिकेशन चालणार आहे सेंडर आणि रिसिव्हर मध्ये फॉर ऑल दॅट वे और फॉर ऑल दॅट टाइम session is established between the sender and the receiver, and unless and until message reaches to the receiver, the session is in active position. Once it reaches to the receiver, the session is lost or it get disconnected. Okay, so that is the work of the session layer. Then we'll have a transport layer. So transport layer is the middle layer or it is the important layer in a OSI reference model which accepts the data from the lower layer or upper layer and transfers it to the next layer. So at the sender side, this transport layer accepts the data from these three and transmit to the next layers. And at the receiver side, it accepts the data from these three and transfer to the next layers. So that is the work of the transport layer. Clear? Then next we are having the network layer. So network layer is used again, for example, to find the addresses to where it is actually going, means where what is the address of the receiver, so how the data can be sent to the receiver. So that is the work of the network layer. Then we'll have a data link layer. So this is the important layer because whatever task needs to be done with the data, all that done with the help of the data link layer only. We are having the third chapter separate on this data link layer task. Okay, so data link layer काय करतं, फॉर एक्झाम्पल इट डज द फ्रेमिंग, म्हणजे जो डेटा आलेला आहे किंवा इन्फॉर्मेशन आलेली आहे त्याच्या फ्रेम्स जनरेट करायच्या. देन फॉर एक्झाम्पल डेटा आहे तो स्मॉल पॅकेट्स मध्ये डिवाइड करायचा. ओके, फॉर एक्झाम्पल हेडर्स ऍड करायचे त्याला. ओके, ऍड्रेसेस पॅक करायचे. सो ऑल दिस टास्क इज डन बाय दिस डेटा लिंक लेयर. So it is the main important layer because it is directly dealing with our data. Okay, so that is why data link layer is important layer. And the physical layer, so physical layer is nothing but it is just a conversion of your data in a binary format, we can say. Okay, so that's why I told that in the earlier diagram, this one, your actual data will be sent by using physical medium only. We are saying that data is flowing like this to this, but physical medium is responsible to actually send the data from sender to the receiver. Okay, so this is the OSI reference model that we have already covered. In short, I have told the working of every network over here, sorry, every layer. प्रत्येकाचं टास्क काय आहे, हाऊ इट वर्क्स, दॅट आय हॅव एक्सप्लेन ओव्हर हिअर. रिमेंबर द टास्क, एक स्पेसिफिक फ्लो लक्षात ठेवा. सपोज माझा डेटा इथं आहे, त्याच्यानंतर काय होईल, नंतर काय होईल, लाईक वाईज यू जस्ट रिमेंबर, बिकॉज it will be easy to write the answer, as well as most of the time it is asked in MCQ also, what is the task of this a particular layer. So at that time you should be able to remember the task of every layer. Okay, so up to this we have covered in a last lecture. If anyone is having any doubt, let me know. Any doubt? Any doubt? Can we move forward? Yes. Any doubt? You should speak up, यार काहीतरी बोलत जावा. Yes, no. Any doubt? Yeah, Shweta, Shivani,
No, ma'am.
everything is clear now. Can we move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, next point is the TCP/IP reference model. Okay, so it is the second reference model. First was the OSI reference model. See, OSI reference model, it is just a reference model, or it is a logical model. Means we say that it is a layer structure, data is sent from this layer to this layer and all. But actual implemented model is a TCP/IP reference model. So whenever we are writing the name, generally we write as a OSI reference model and TCP/IP model only, not a reference model. Okay, because TCP/IP, it is designed as well as the developed or implemented by Department of Defense (DoD) in 1960. Okay, and it follows some protocols again, or some rules, and these are the standard protocols which has defined by the DoD. Okay, so TCP/IP, it stands for Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. This is the long form for the TCP/IP. Okay, so TCP/IP model is a concise version of the OSI reference model. Okay, so we can say that TCP/IP is developed after OSI reference model, and it has taken the reference of OSI reference model. TCP/IP OSI नंतर डेव्हलप झालेला आहे, आणि TCP/IP ची डिझाईन करताना किंवा तो डेव्हलप करताना OSI चा रेफरन्स घेतलेला आहे, किंवा OSI रेफरन्स मॉडेलचा रेफरन्स घेतलेला आहे. Okay, so it contains 4 layers, unlike 7 layers of the OSI reference model. So TCP/IP, it is having only 4 layers. Again, it is having the 4 layer, but these are the combinations of all these 7 layers of the OSI model. याच्यामध्ये 4 layers आहेत, पण हे सगळे 4 layers काय आहेत, तर सेमच वर्क आहे, फक्त कॉम्बिनेशन आहेत. OSI मध्ये 7 layers आहेत, ते काय केलेले आहेत, प्रत्येकाचं वर्क कंबाईन करून all these 4 layers are designed. Okay, so first layer is the process or the application layer, then host or transport layer, then internet layer, and network access link layer. So these are the 4 layers of the TCP/IP reference model. So the sequence for this is like this. If it is at the center side, Means for the sender, application or the process layer will be the first, and network access or link layer will be the last, and exactly reverse at the receiver side. So for receiver, network access or link layer is the first one, and application layer will be the last one. Okay, so that is the flow for the sender and receiver side uh, TCP/IP model. So let's start from the as like a receiver side. So we'll see first network access or the link layer. So if we go through the books or net, you may find the different names for these layers. Okay, so host to host layer or transport layer. So I have mentioned most of the layers, but the means commonly these names are used. So just remember that only four layers are there. That is nothing but the application layer, then transport or host to host, then internet, and the network access layer. So these are the four layers. So let's see one by one. So this is the diagram. Is difference to understand the difference between the OSI and TCP. I have shown here. So 7 layers are there in OSI reference model, and in TCP/IP 4 reference models, 4 layers are there. Okay. So we'll see one by one. So first we will see the network access model. Okay. So that is the first layer for the receiver side. Okay, so network access layer, it is the this layer, it corresponds to the combination of data link layer and physical layer of OSI reference model. So that's why I have shown this layer. So this last layer, that is network access layer, it is the combination of these two layers of OSI reference model. It means that the work of the network access layer is same as the work of these two layers of OSI model. क्लिअर. सो नेटवर्क ऍक्सेस लेअरचं काम काय असणार आहे, जे फिजिकल लेअर अँड डेटा लिंक लेअरचं काम आहे ओएसआर मध्ये, तेच नेटवर्क ऍक्सेस लेअर इथं वर्क करतं. फिजिकल लेअरचं काम काय आहे, 101 मध्ये कन्व्हर्जन करणं. डेटा लिंक लेअरचं काय आहे, फॉर एक्झाम्पल फ्रेम्स क्रिएट करणं, किंवा व्हॉट वी कॅन से पॅकेट्स मध्ये मेसेज तुमचा डिवाइड करणं, ऍड्रेसेस ऍड करणं. सो दॅट इज द वर्क. सो दिस इज डन बाय द नेटवर्क ऍक्सेस लेअर. Okay, so network access layer, it is the combination of data link layer and physical layer of OSI model, and the protocols used in this layer allows for physical transmission of a data. So that is already I have explained. So this is a first layer. Then second is the internet layer. Okay, so this diagram, second one is the internet layer. So let's see what is internet layer. So it is same as a network layer of OSI reference model. This one, network layer. So internet layer is the same as a network layer of a OSI reference model. It defines the protocols which are responsible for logical transmission of a data. Okay, so what it does, internet layer काय करतो, so it is having, or it is having some protocols which are used to send the data over the network. So which protocols it uses, so I have listed over here. So first one is the IP, then ICMP and ARP. So these are the three main protocols which are used by internet layer. Now what is mean by the protocols, we have already seen. Protocols म्हणजे काय असतं, it contains certain rules. ह्याचे काहीतरी rules असतात, and by using that rules we can communicate. So TCP/IP model is based upon the protocols only. प्रत्येक लेअर मध्ये एक प्रोटोकॉल्स यूज केलेले आहेत, आणि ते यूज करूनच त्या लेअरचं फंक्शन वर्कआउट होत असतं. ठीक आहे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इफ आय टेक दिस वन, network access layer, so it uses the ARP protocol, same like this. Okay, next one is the internet layer, so it uses these three. नेक्स्ट जो लेअर असेल तो पण प्रोटोकॉल्स यूज करेल, आणि त्या प्रोटोकॉल यूज करून तो त्याचं फंक्शन वर्कआउट करत असतो. सो दॅट इज नथिंग बट द प्रोटोकॉल. सो इंटरनेट लेअरचं काम काय आहे की डेटा ट्रान्समिशन करायचा नेटवर्कमध्ये, मग तो ट्रान्समिट करायसाठी हे प्रोटोकॉल्स यूज होतात. Okay, let's see what is IP. So IP is nothing but it stands for internet protocol. Okay, and it is mostly used for delivering of the packets from source to the destination by looking IP address. ठीक आहे. So addressing is important. आता ह्याचं काम काय आहे? सपोज माझा एक डेटा सेंड व्हायला लागलाय 1011 हा माझा डेटा आहे. तर हा डेटा सेंड होताना हा प्रोटोकॉल काय करतो, तर सोर्स कडून डेस्टिनेशन कडे जाणार आहे हा डेटा. मग जात असताना तो कोणता IP ऍड्रेस यूज करणार आहे. सो दॅट इज द वर्क ऑफ दिस IP protocol. Okay, so internet protocol, it is used to send the data from source to the destination by looking IP address. That is the work of the IP protocol. The next one, ICMP. So ICMP stands for Internet Control Message Protocol. Okay, Internet Control Message Protocol. What is the work of this? So it provides the information of network problems to the host. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, नेटवर्क क्रॅश झालेलं आहे, खूप सारा लोड आहे नेटवर्क वरती, डेटा सेंड होणार नाही प्रॉपर, सो डेस्टिनेशनच अवेलेबल नाहीये, डेस्टिनेशन इज बिझी विथ सम अदर वर्क और इट इज ऍक्सेसिंग सम अदर रिसोर्सेस, वॉट एव्हर. सो जो काही प्रॉब्लेम आहे नेटवर्क मध्ये त्या सगळ्याची इन्फॉर्मेशन होस्टला प्रोव्हाइड करायचं काम कोण करतं, तर ICMP. Okay, remember all these protocols are related with the internet layer. It means that these are related with your data, whatever task I'm saying, this data. Okay, and last one is the ARP. So ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. Address Resolution Protocol. So its job is just to find the network address of the host from IP addresses. So याने जो IP address दिलेला आहे, फॉर एक्झाम्पल 172.36. whatever. So तो ऍड्रेस फाइंड करायचं काम कोण करतं, तर ARP करतो, Address Resolution Protocol. So every protocol is having its own rule or its own role. प्रत्येकाचा रोल आणि रूल डिफाईन आहे. यानं काय करायचं, ऍड्रेस फाइंड करायचं, ह्यानं काय करायचं, नेटवर्कची सिच्युएशन काय आहे ते होस्टला सांगायची, यानं काय करायचं, कोणत्या ऍड्रेसला जाणार आहे, किंवा हा मेसेज जात असताना त्यानं त्याच्या होस्टचा ऍड्रेस काय आहे ते त्याला सांगायचं. हे सगळं काम डिफाईन्ड आहे आणि हे यूज करून हा इंटरनेट लेअर वर्कआउट होत असतो. Am I clear? ठीक है. So next, third layer, that is nothing but the host to host layer. Okay, so host to host layer is same as a transport layer of the OSI reference model. So transport layer, this one, host to host. So this, that's why here transport layer is given, or we can say that host to host layer, it is also called as a host to host. So same as a transport layer. So what it does, transport layerचं इथं वर्क काय आहे, it just take the data from lower or upper layers and forward to the next layer. Similarly, this host to host layer, it is used for end to end communication. End to end means इथून डेटा घ्यायचा नेक्स्ट लेअरला पाठवायचा, लाईकवाईज. सो फॉर एंड टू एंड कम्युनिकेशन अँड एरर फ्री डेटा सेंड करायसाठी this transport layer or host to host layer is used. Okay, again for this task is it uses these two protocols. First one is the TCP and UDP. These are the two important protocols, because in computer network subject in next semester it is used, mostly these two protocols are there. Okay, so TCP and UDP, these are the two main protocols which are used by transport layer. Okay, so what is this TCP? So TCP is nothing but the transmission control protocol. Transmission control protocol. Now, and UDP stands for user datagram protocol. User datagram protocol. Now I'll tell you only one difference between these. Depending upon this, you can remember the uses of this. What is the difference is that for the TCP, synchronization or timing between the sender and receiver is very much important, okay, for TCP protocol. And for UDP, synchronization or timing between sender and receiver is not that much important. Okay, now I'll tell you the example. For example, I'm doing some banking transactions. Okay, I have withdrawn some money. So I have suppose withdraw or transaction is happened at 2 p.m. Okay, 2 p.m. ला मी transaction केलेलं आहे. But in bank server, suppose it get updated at 2 a.m. instead of p.m. Suppose it get updated at 2 a.m. So what will happen? It is not possible. Okay, or will not say that it is a valid transaction. It means that there must be timing synchronization between, suppose I'm withdrawing money from ATM and between the bank server. So in such cases where timing, security and synchronization is highest priority, in that case TCP protocol is used. Okay, timing, then security and synchronization between the two nodes is important, then TCP protocol is used. Similarly, just take an example that suppose I have sent one mail. Okay, make mail send केलाय to some receiver. So mail मी send केलेला आहे, I have done my task. It is not compulsory that suppose I have sent the mail at 10 a.m. receiver should, or it must received by the receiver at 10.1. It is not required. Okay, I will send the mail, that receiver will receive the mail, it will be in its inbox, it will reset. सो याच्यामध्ये मला टायमिंग जास्त मॅटर करत नाही किंवा सिंक्रोनायझेशन दोन नोड मधलं मॅटर करत नाही. सो इन दॅट केस दिस UDP protocol is used. Okay, understood the difference? TCP, when there must be synchronization, timing and security is the highest priority, then TCP, that is transmission control protocol, is used, and UDP is used where synchronization or timing is not required as a highest priority. In that case UDP can be used, and UDP stands for user datagram protocol. So these are the two protocols which are used by host to host layer. That is the third one. Okay, and the last layer, it is nothing but the application layer. So this layer, it again, as I told you, if we'll go to the say through the sender side, it is the first layer to the sender, and for the receiver it is the last layer for the receiver. So this layer, it performs the functions of top three layers of the OSI model. This one. Okay, so this application layer, it performs the functions of these three: application, presentation and session. So the task of the application layer is this one. So what the session layer does, it establishes a session between two nodes. Presentation layer काय करतो, it presents the data in a specified format. Application layer, it is closest to the receiver. So all these three layers task is done by the application layer in a TCP IP model. And to perform this task, it uses these protocols. First one is the HTTP and HTTPS. You might have experienced these where बघितलेलं आहे. Any idea? बघितलेलं आहे का HTTP and HTTPS?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, where? Yeah, tell me. Though it is wrong, please tell. हा, कुठं बघितलेलं आहे?
Search मारतो
Right. Whenever we search anything on Google, at that time we are redirected to HTTP or HTTPS. ओके. सो ज्यावेळेस आपण एखादं सर्च करतो गुगलला आणि एखाद्या वेबसाईटला किंवा एखाद्या लिंकला क्लिक करतो, त्यावेळेस ते क्लिक ज्यावेळेस आपण त्या पेजला ऍक्च्युली जातो, रिडायरेक्ट होतो, त्यावेळेस these two protocols we see in a search bar or the main bar. Okay, so what is HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. S stands for secure. Okay, so why it is used? So it is used in a word means www to manage the communication between the web browser and the server. सो मी जे रिक्वेस्ट सेंड केलेली आहे, फॉर एक्झाम्पल सपोज आय हॅव सर्च व्हॉट इज डिकॉम और व्हॉट इज डेटा कम्युनिकेशन, आणि मला काहीतरी खाली त्याच्या लिंक्स मिळाले, त्यातली मी फर्स्ट लिंक क्लिक केली. सो मी क्लिक केलेली रिक्वेस्ट कोणत्या तरी सर्व्हरला सेव्ह असणार आहे तो डेटा. सो तिथून तो इकडं मला वेब पेजला माझ्या दाखवायचं काम हे प्रोटोकॉल्स करत असतं. Okay, so it is used by World Wide Web to have a communication between web browsers and servers. ठीक है. So same work is done by both. Only what is the difference? S stands for secure. So mostly if you are using the banking sites, or suppose you are filling some forms, or suppose you are doing the any sign up page, at that time you will find this HTTPS. Okay, and in normal way, suppose मी काहीतरी search करते, any data I'm searching on the net, so at that time I'll find a HTTP. ठीक है. सो एस मीन्स सिक्युअर अँड HTTP हायपरटेक्स्ट ट्रान्सफर प्रोटोकॉल. सो एस कधी कधी रिडायरेक्ट होईल तुम्हाला ज्यावेळेस तुम्हाला सिक्युरिटी इम्पॉर्टंट आहे, बँकिंगचे असतील ट्रान्झॅक्शन, एखादा फॉर्म फिल करते किंवा साइनअपचं पेज आहे, ऑथेंटिकेशन रिक्वायर्ड आहे. सो इन ऑल दॅट केसेस दिस HTTPS is there, and in remaining all HTTP will be there only. So these two protocols are used to have a communication between web browser and the servers. Okay, so that is the first protocol. The second protocol used is SSH. So it stands for secure shell. SSH, secure shell. Okay, what is the use? So it is used to set up secure connection over TCP/IP connection. So connection between the two nodes, it should get secure. So by using this protocol, this secure connection is established. Okay, and last one is the NTP protocol. So NTP is nothing but the network time protocol. Network time protocol. Okay, so it is used to synchronize the clocks on on system or our computer to one standard time source. Okay, synchronize the clock of our computer or system to the standard time source. See, बऱ्याच वेळा काय असतं बघा, मोस्ट ऑफ द सिस्टीमचे टायमिंग काही वेगळंच असतं. ठीक आहे, आता वाजले असतात 11 आणि सिस्टीमला आपल्या कम्प्युटरला टायमिंग असतं 12, 1, 2 काही असू शकतं. सो जरी असलं तरी सुद्धा सिंक्रोनायझेशन झालं पाहिजे आताच्या करंट टाइम झोनचं सर्व्हर सोबत. सो दॅट वर्क इज डन बाय द network time protocol. Okay, so it is very useful application, or it is very useful where the uh, synchronization is required. So as I told you that banking application and all, so where the timing must be there, so in that case NTP protocol is used or it is important. Okay, so these are the four layers of TCP IP along with their protocols. Remember the protocols used in every layer because it is asked for the MCQ. MCQ ला हे विचारलेले आहेत, कोणता लेअर कुठला प्रोटोकॉल यूज करतो. And there is no difference between the TCP IP and OSI reference model because TCP IP is having four layers, and these four layers are the combination of all these seven layers. Only difference is what? TCP IP follows some protocols to have a communication. and instead of that in OSI reference model we are not having any protocol. तिथं कुठलाही प्रोटोकॉल यूज केलेला नाही. एवढाच काय तो डिफरन्स आहे दोघांच्या मध्ये ऍक्च्युअल वर्किंग जर आपण कन्सिडर केलं तर. अदरवाइज TCP/IP मध्ये 4 लेअर आहेत आणि हे 4 लेअर सेम ॲज अ OSI रेफरन्स मॉडेल और कॉम्बिनेशन. Okay, am I clear? All these 4 layers. Anybody is having any doubt in these 4 layers? Yes. आहे का काय doubt? Okay, no doubt. No. Okay, fine. So we'll move to the next point. So this is the last point from the second chapter, that is ATM reference model. So again, ATM reference model, it stands for asynchronous transfer mode. ATM stands for asynchronous transfer mode. So it is or ATM reference model, it is used for transmitting all the information including multiple service types such as data, video, voice, which are conveyed in small fixed size packets which are called as a sales. So what is the use of the ATM reference model? So it sends the data of in any format. For example, it can be a video, it can be image, or it can be voice. Only difference is or only restriction is what this data should be in a small fixed size packets, and these packets are called as a sales in case of the ATM reference model. Okay, so in ATM reference model the data is divided not in packets but in a cells. याच्या अगोदर आपण काय म्हणत होतो, पॅकेट. सेम कन्सेप्ट इज देअर, बट पॅकेट्सलाच ATM रेफरन्स मॉडेल मध्ये काय म्हणतात, सेल्स म्हणतात. Okay, and these cells are nothing but these are having the set of information. Okay, and each cell is of 53 bytes long. प्रत्येक सेलची साईज ही फिक्स्ड असते and it is nothing but the 53 byte. Okay, so each cell is of 53 bytes. Out of these 53, first 5 bytes are given for a header, and remaining 40 bytes are payload, or we can say it as a your data. Okay, so this diagram, see here. So हे टोटल सेल किती बाईटचे आहे, 53 बाईटचे आहे. त्यातला 5 बाईट कशाला असणार आहे, तर हेडर म्हणजे काय असणार आहे, ऍड्रेसेस ऑफ सेंडर अँड रिसिव्हर. सो ऑल दॅट पार्ट विल बी in 5 bytes only, and remaining 48 bytes are reserved for payload field, or this is a your actual data, 48 byte. Okay, and these cells are transmitted asynchronously and the network is connection oriented. Okay, now what is asynchronous transmission? It is my question, na? What is asynchronous transmission? Because we have covered this in first chapter, synchronous and asynchronous transmission. What is synchronous and asynchronous? Don't know, don't remember. What is synchronous and asynchronous? Synchronous means what? Continuous, means data is sent continuously. Means त्याला स्टार्ट बीट एंड बीट ऍड नसतो. आणि असिंक्रोनस काय असतं, इन अ सेपरेटेड फॉर्मॅट. स्टार्ट बीट एंड बीट्स ऍड करून डेटा सेंड केला जातो. सो सिमिलरली asynchronous or in case of the ATM reference model, the data is sent asynchronously and the network is connection oriented only. Is there must be a fixed path to send a data or to send a cell format cell within a network. So that is nothing but the cell format and how the data is actually being sent. So remember this some points related with the ATM reference model. First one is what the cell size is of 53 byte. Second thing is it is connection oriented and it transfers the data in a asynchronous manner. Remember these three things. Now this is the actual model. Okay, so it is having this in case of the ATM reference model, we can't say that it is having 4 layers, 5 layers, or 2 or 3 layers, because what is there is that actually these three are the main layers: physical ATM layer and ATM adaptation layer, and these 3 layers are again subdivided in these layers like this, and again it is divided in other sub layers. Okay, so we can't say that this ATM reference model is having 2 or 3 layers, because there are lots of sub layers are available. So as like OSI and TCP/IP, there are no fixed uh, number for the OSI reference model layers. Okay, so we'll see one by one. First one, sorry, first layer is the we'll see as a ATM adaptation layer. Okay, first layer, this one, ATM adaptation layer. It is also, or short form, this for this layer is a AAL. Okay, ATM adaptation layer. So AAL is the short form for this layer. So this layer is divided into these two sub layers, CS and SAR. What is this, I'll tell you. So this is the most higher layer for the ATM reference model, and it it is having the ATM processes, and it prepares for a conversion of user data into sales. So what it does, it converts the data into the specified format of the cells. जे काय त्याची साईज आहे 53 बाईटच्या सेल मध्ये कन्वर्ट करायचं काम कोण करतं, तर एटीएम अडॅप्टेशन लेअर करत असतो. सो इट इज ATM adaptation layer, first layer. Then second layer, second layer is the, suppose we'll see, second layer is the ATM layer. Okay, so it handles the transmission, then switching, or congestion control, or adding headers to the cell. So all this done, all this task is done by the ATM layer. Okay, transmission of the data, then switching, or the congestion control means फ्लो डेटाचा फ्लो कंट्रोल करायचं काम, प्लस सेलला किंवा तुमच्या पॅकेट्सला हेडर्स ऍड करायचं काम एटीएम लेअर करतो, सेकंड वन. Okay, and last layer is the physical layer. So it is used to manage the medium dependent transmission. Okay, means in which format the data should be sent. So that is done by the physical layer of this. So this physical layer is divided into two sub layers, that is TC and PMD. So TC is nothing but the transmission convergence sub layer, and PMD is the physical medium dependent sub layer. These are the two sub layers. Okay, and means there is no specific task actually for this one, so only it is divided into sub layers. Okay, so just remember which layer contains which sub layer. So physical layer contains TC and PMD, that is transmission convergence sub layer and physical medium dependent sub layer. And ATM adaptation layer contains these two sublayer, that is CS. CS stands for convergence sublayer, and SAR stands for segmentation and reassembly sublayer. Segmentation and reassembly of sublayer. सेगमेंटेशन अँड रिअसेंबली काय आहे? सेगमेंटेशन म्हणजे काय? ऑलरेडी आय टोल्ड, एटीएम अडॅप्टेशन लेअरचं काम काय आहे? डेटा आहे तो सेलमध्ये डिवाइड करायचा. ओके, दॅट इज नथिंग बट द सेगमेंटेशन ना. सेल्समध्ये पार्टमध्ये डिवाइड केलं म्हणजे सेगमेंटेशन. आणि रिअसेंबली म्हणजे काय? रिसिव्हर साईडला तो प्रॉपर सिक्वेन्समध्ये आला पाहिजे, त्यासाठी तो रिअसेंबल केला जातो. दॅट इज नथिंग बट द रिअसेंबली. सो इट इज द टास्क ऑफ एटीएम adaptation layer. So these are the upper layers, or these are again the sub layers. Mostly it is divided. So for example, if we consider these upper layers or whatever layers are available over here, so the task of these layers are the flow control, error control. So these are the tasks of these upper layers, and these upper layers task is the connection management, means establishing the connection between the sender and the receiver. So this is done by these upper layers. Okay, then control sorry layer management, it is used to it, or this layer is used for resource management purpose. So whatever resources are required to send and receive the data, so that all resources are managed by the layer management or this layer. Okay, and this plane management, it is used as, or it is an interlayer coordination is done by the plane management layer. Okay, so ह्या सगळ्या लेअर मधलं coordination plane management layer handle करत असतो. Again at this side also we are having some sub layers. ठीक है. So this is the ATM reference model. Now you will say that what is the use of the ATM reference model, because OSI is easy, TCP/IP आपण समजू शकतो, but why it is used? So these are the uses or the applications where the ATM reference models are used. Okay, for example, ATM vans can be generated, means whenever we are forming the van structure. Okay, in that case ATM reference model is used. Again, multimedia virtual private networks and managed services. Okay, multimedia means as I told you, ATM reference model मध्ये कोणता डेटा जातो, तर व्हिडिओ, व्हॉइस और एनी इमेजेस किंवा तुमचे काय म्हणतो आपण त्याला, animations. So such type of data is sent by using the ATM reference model. Okay, also residential broadband networks. Okay, residential जे आपले फोन नेटवर्क्स असतात, आधीचे होते बघा, ते रिसिव्हर उचलायचा, नंबर दाबायचा वगैरे, दॅट so that are used by ATM reference model. Okay, and last one is the carrier infrastructure for telephone and private line network. So to make the more efficient communication between the two or in a telephonic network, so ATM reference are used. Okay, so these are the four uses or the application of the ATM reference where it is mostly used. So remember that whenever we are having the data in a format of video or voice messages, there multimedia, all multimedia type of the data, in that case ATM is mostly used. Okay, so all this part is in third chapter, so I have covered the third chapter here. Sorry, second chapter, not third, second chapter. Tell me then now, any doubt? असेल तर विचारा, otherwise we'll go for a questions. No doubt. Okay, I'll take a test now. With that I'll understood. Doubt आहेत का नाही ते कळते आता, किती येते, सगळ्यांना किती समजले. ठीक आहे. So now questions for you. Now I'll call any number. So that person has to give the answer. So these are the MCQ questions on second chapter which are asked in university questions. Okay, first one. As a data packet moves from lower to upper layer, headers are dash dash at receiver side. So headers add केले जातात, रिमूव्ह केले जातात, रिअरेंज केले जातात की मॉडिफाय केले जातात ज्यावेळेस डेटा रिसिव्हर साइडला मूव्ह होत असतो. सो टेल मी what will be the answer? Anyone? Else I'll call the number. Yes, tell me the answer. What is the answer of this one? As data packets moves from lower to upper layer, डेटा पॅकेट लोअर टू अपर रिसिव्हर साइडला ज्यावेळेस जात असतो त्यावेळेस त्याचे हेडर्स ऍड होतात, रिमूव्ह होतात, अरेंज होतात, रिअरेंज होतात की मॉडिफाय
Removed.
येस, रिमूव्ह. राईट. सो द करेक्ट आन्सर इज व्हॉट? बी. सो हेडर्स आर रिमूव्ड. Correct. Then second one, the AAL layer is split into. which layer? So as I told you, huh? ATM adaptation layer. त्याचे दोन
SAR
सबलेयर्स
and CS.
बघितलेत आपण. कोणते कोणते? Yes, SAR and CS.
SAR.
So the answer is what? C1. SAR and CS. These are the two sublayers of ATM adaptation layer. Correct? Then third chapter. In which topology each device has a dedicated point-to-point connection only with two devices on either side of it. Okay? So these are the options. Tell me. In which topology each device has a dedicated point-to-point connection only with two devices of either side of it. Which topology?
Ring.
Yeah, correct. Answers there. You can drop message also. इथे chat box मध्ये टाका. ठीक आहे. So रिंग टोपोलॉजी मध्ये असतं ना आपल्याला दोन एक्झॅक्टली टू नेबर्स असतात. प्रत्येक नोड एक्झॅक्टली दोन नेबर्सला कनेक्ट असला पाहिजे. सो दॅट इज नथिंग बट द रिंग टोपोलॉजी. Then next question. SAR is the function of which layer? SAR is the function of dash dash layer. कोणत्या लेअरचं का आहे? AAL layer, that is B. आत्ताच इथं बघितलं ना आपण SAR and CS. So AAL is the answer. Okay, so it is the sublayer or the function of the ATM adaptation layer. Both A and B is not a correct. Most of the time students are writing A and B, that is ATM and ATM adaptation layer. No, ATM is a separate layer and ATM adaptation layer is a separate layer. आणि ATM layer divide होत नाही. फक्त physical layer and ATM adaptation layer, these two layers are divided in sublayers. Remember. Okay, next question. The ATM cells are dash dash byte strong. Size किती असते ATM cell ची?
53.
Yes, 53 is the correct answer, D. So it is of 53 bytes. So 5 bytes for headers and remaining 48 bytes your actually data. That is answer. Then next, the protocol HTTP lies at which layer of OSI? कोणत्या लेअरला असतो प्रोटोकॉल HTTP? आता TCP, which one? Application. Any other answer?
Application.
Presentation. Okay, presentation application. How application? Who has told? Application layer कसा असेल? What is there? It is OSI, not TCP/IP. आणि ते कॉम्बिनेशन्स कुठल्या कुठल्या लेअरचे आहेत त्याच्यावरून लक्षात ठेवायचं कोणत्या लेअरला तो प्रोटोकॉल येईल. ओके, then next question. Framing is task of which layer? Framing is a task of which layer? आता सांगितलं होतं OSI रेफरन्स मॉडेल मी एक्सप्लेन करताना सांगितलं होतं. कोणत्या लेअरचं आहे?
DDL. DDL.
DDL नाही, DLL. Yeah, so DLL stands for data link layer. Okay, so A is the correct answer. It is the task of data link layer. ठीक है. Last question, I think. So which topology requires a central controller or hub? Very easy. Which topology requires a central controller or hub? Yeah, so star. Yeah, correct. Star topology requires central hub or controller. ठीक है. So this is the correct answer. Okay, so these are the MCQs which are asked in university depending upon the second chapter. Okay, so you can understood that no need to do lot of study, फक्त थोडंसं लक्ष द्या येईल सगळं तुम्हाला. Okay, then these are the university questions on the second chapter. First one is the uses of the computer network. It is asked in 2014-16 as well as in 2018 also. I forgot to write here. 18 मध्ये पण हा question होता. Then explain TCP/IP protocol. It is 14-16. Then OSI reference model 16. Then ATM reference model 17-14. So you can see in 2014 or 14 and 16. Okay, so most of the paper means 14 to 15 marks paper is covered on the second chapter only. Okay, 2014. See here, 1, 2, and 3. Three questions are there. 12 marks question. Okay, 12 marks are there for the second chapter. Also in 2018 also, actually I don't get that paper. I don't know where it went. So in 2018 also the question was on that topologies. Topology and OSI. These two questions were there. Okay, so second chapter is important or it is easy and most of the paper is covered on second and third chapter. सेकंड आणि थर्ड वरतीच मोस्ट ऑफ द फर्स्ट सेक्शन कव्हर झालेला असतो. जो चॅप्टर 1 आहे त्यातला एखादा दुसरा विचारतात, जास्त नाही, बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द बेसिक पार्ट आहे फर्स्ट चॅप्टरला. सेकंड आणि थर्ड वरतीच मोस्टली पेपर असतो. Okay, so you can easily give the answers of this question. It is very easy. For these three questions only you have to remember the diagrams. Also for the topology, topologyला पण फक्त डायग्राम्स लक्षात ठेवायचे, आणि त्या डायग्राम वरून तुम्ही एक्सप्लेनेशन यू कॅन राईट एनी नंबर ऑफ पेजेस एक्सप्लेनेशन. इट इज व्हेरी इझी. अँड युजेस ऑफ कम्प्युटर नेटवर्क, डे टू डे लाईफ मध्ये वी आर डुईंग लॉट ऑफ थिंग related with the computer network, you can easily write. Okay, so this is all about the second chapter. So second chapter is over. So as I told you, we need to take an quiz or test on first and second chapter. So we'll start that quiz. So all of you have used this na quiz.com. यूज केलेला आहे quizzes.com quiz साठी.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So just go to the quizzes.com and enter this code 390837. Everyone please go to the quizzes.com and enter this code to solve the quiz. दिसतोय ना कोड सगळ्यांना? Is it visible? Only 6 students have joined. Remaining all, please join fast. Join the quiz.
मॅम लिंक शेअर करा ना,
कशाची?
ते quizizz.com ची.
quizzes.com ला डायरेक्ट जाऊन फक्त जॉईन क्विज म्हणून कोड टाका ना. हा quizzes.com ला जावा आणि जॉईन गेम म्हणायचं आणि तिथं फक्त हा कोड टाका 390837. यू विल बी इन गेम. होते का बघा स्नेहा?
हो मॅम बघते.
हा
कोड काय आहे मॅडम?
390837. 390837. झाली जॉईन?
हो झाले.
ओके सॉलिड. Okay, so these are the 5 toppers. Okay, wait for 5 minutes, huh? Harshad, wait for 5 minutes. Okay, Omkar, who is B38? B38. B38. Okay, then Mokshada Kamre, Sheetal Vagas, and who is this S? Who is this S? Screen is visible, na? Which is screen दिसते ना सगळ्यांना? Who is this S? Okay, so these are the 5 winners of the game. Omkar, B30, Mokshada, Sheetal, and S. I don't know who is S. Okay, so we'll end up the game. So first is, who is this A? Yeah, see the result. A, then Abhi, and Vaishnavi
Screen
Rai.
is not.
A is who? Who is A? Screen is not visible. Okay,
Yes,
present.
ma'am.
Okay, present again. Okay, now is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so who is this A? A कौन आहे A? I don't know. So this is your scorecard. Okay, this is your score. So A, Abhi, and Vaishnavi. These 3 are good. These 3 are having the highest score. A कौन आहे? I don't know. ठीक है. So let it be. So I think questions are this the questions that means you will be able to get the answers also over there. So just go through it all the questions because they are from first and the second chapter. I have put the questions. Okay. So we'll stop here first. Likewise, there will be test on every chapter, huh? So remember.
Okay.
So let me take the presentation. Wait for 2 minutes.